Senator Roman Prezioso is the Senate Minority Leader Democrat from Marion County. He joins me on Metro News Talk Line. Senator, good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, good morning, Hoppy. I'm well, thank you.
Good, good. Senator, the governor, and I just had Tim Miley on last half hour. The governor has spoken to the Democratic caucuses in the House and Senate. As I said, I know that's not a public meeting. I'm not asking you to disclose anything, but the governor was out this morning speaking to an oil and gas group, and he was telling them he wants everybody all in on this full boat that he wants to do of tax increases that's what he wants. He wants the whole thing. Where is your caucus, if you can speak for them, concerning the governor's package of $450 million in tax increases and $27 million in cuts and the road bond? We can deal with that separately, but where are they?
Well, I don't think it's any big secret that the governor has proposed, his plan to both the Democrats and Republicans, and he's taken his plan all over the state. And I don't think there were any big secrets in our caucus. We had a very interactive caucus. Our members were ready to ask him questions. They were very attentive in listening to his proposal, and I think he has a bold proposal. It's systemic. It's certainly balanced. He wants both the citizens of the state and the businesses to share in this equally. And there were some concerns, there's no doubt. There are some depressed areas in our state, and some of the members of our caucus were concerned primarily about the gas tax and things of that sort. But overall, I think we have a general consensus that, he's a businessman. He's a proven entity. He's turned some fledgling businesses around, and he's got the experience. He's got a new approach, and I think for the most part we were willing to listen to him and work with him. He left the door open. He said, if we have any additional suggestions for programs to be cut, he would certainly listen. There was some concern about the consumer activity tax.
Right.
As opposed to the corporate net, there was some discussion on that. So I think we had a very lively, interactive conversation, and for the most part, we trust what Governor Justice has done, and will primarily support him for most of his efforts.
Okay, so Roman, at least in your caucus, and there's always variables, we understand that, but
Sure.
There would be a general support for what the governor is talking about, what the governor is proposing, and is that a solid support, or is that a starting point for negotiation of some sort of compromise?
It's a starting point, and I think for overall, the majority were in agreement. I think the things he pointed out to us were, as we proceeded along with our tax reform, and certainly cut a lot of taxes over the years, and we've always compromised and taken the lower level, and a lot of times come up short. He wants a bold package. He's convinced that if we do this thing, we can move forward in 3 years, eliminate, all the taxes that he's proposed, and at that time the economy will be good, and we'll have a new base and a lively, thriving economy, and it's the best hope for a future that I've heard in a long while.
Roman Prezioso is with us, who is Minority Leader of the State Senate. Roman, and you have a background in education. The governor wants to give a 2% pay raise to teachers that would cost about $25 million, at least to classroom teachers, not to everybody, but to classroom teachers. And invariably, I hear from state employees, like the email I just read, the state employees have gotten virtually zilch for a decade, and so and everybody needs a raise. I get that, but can you single out classroom teachers and ignore state workers, or what should our approach be there?
Certainly, we should keep our minds open to that. And, the governor apologized when he said, he's sorry he can only offer a 2% raise. That only means about $805 a year for most of our teachers. And we certainly want to look at our, service personnel and state employees and things of that sort. They've been, denied over the years, and we've got to be cognizant of that too. But, he's got a starting point. His analogy about the patient, on the operating table is in dire straits. Do we want to save it, or do we want to just totally kill him off. And that's the situation we're in. And I think he paints a vivid picture. He's very flamboyant in the way he approaches things. He tries to make his point, and we'll take this thing as far as it can go. We're in a situation now where we're waiting for the majority party to come out with a counter proposal, or their suggestions on what they've heard the governor say to them today. I know that they're caucusing today, and
right.
We're eagerly awaiting to engage and start the conversation. And at this point, it's been very amicable. We've held our civility, and I hope it continues. And I hope we can sit down at the table and all be a part of this solution. And I think we're at a tipping point right now that we've got to make some bold steps.
Roman, I think it's interesting that there's a lot of tax increases here, and consumer sales tax, haven't heard the 1.5% increase from 6 to 6.5%. Haven't heard too many people complain that much about that. The business occupation tax, people are concerned about that. But you talk about raising the gas tax, and I tell you, people pay attention. And so the proposal to raise the excise tax from 20.5 cents to 30.5 cents as part of the funding mechanism to get several $1 billion in road work in West Virginia and put people to work, I'm sure that is a concern of your caucus.
Absolutely a concern. I know that we can't build new roads. We've got to maintain what we have. There was a deep concern, especially in southern West Virginia, where more depressed areas, and also, people are concerned about road maintenance. We want to make sure that there's enough money to go ahead and fix the roads that we have now. They're going to the point, if we lose the base of these roads, we're going to be in double trouble. And I just think that the people that I've talked to are willing to support money for new roads. I know that that's going to be a tough issue. I experienced more consternation over when we raised the tax to 5%. 5 cents on gas a while back, and but we've got to take care of our roads, and we just have to. We don't have a good funding source to do that except the gas tax right now, and I hope we can find more creative ways to maintain our roads.
Senator, finally, and Senator Roman Prezioso is with us, who is the minority leader of the state, Senate Democrat, Marion County. Senator, the Republicans are going to come up with big time cuts, big time reductions. Maybe there'll be a tax increase in there as well. We're not sure. But is your caucus open to deep cuts?
Well, we're certainly open for the conversation. I think Governor Justice said that very clearly in our caucus too. His $28 million proposal in cuts. He's open to hear if we have additional suggestions. We're certainly open to that, and we just want to have the conversation and get this thing going. The earlier, the better. We don't want to wait to the waning moments of the session to when you're under pressure to get it done, and we're going to be under intense pressure this time because we can't go 6 months past the session to try to get it done, and that just creates too much havoc.
All right, the minority leader of the state Senate, Senator Roman Prezioso. Senator, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hoppy.
All right.